Well, 5 months after stinging losses at the ballot box, Democrats are bringing their message to the people. A unity tour, headlined by DNC Chair Tom Perez and Senator Bernie Sanders, is hitting the country. But the question remains, is there really unity between the establishment and the progressive wings of the party? A new book out this week highlighting an exclusive look at the Clinton campaign's miscalculation of that ideological divide. Jonathan Allen, co-author of the new book Shattered: Inside Hillary Clinton's Doomed Campaign, joins me now from New York. Jonathan, thank you so much. My first question right off the bat is, should those on the Unity Tour be carrying this book with them? Should they be reading this book as they hit on that tour?
Absolutely. This is the first behind-the-scenes look at the Clinton campaign, what went wrong with that. I think a lot of it speaks to what went wrong for the Democratic Party. In particular, some of the debates about whether or not they should be turning mostly to their base and trying to turn people out, or trying to persuade people. This campaign spent a lot of time working on the base and very little time on persuasion, and it's one of the things that brought down the Clinton campaign.
All right, let's talk more about that. You know, no team is perfect, and I certainly want to get to the candidate as well. But at times throughout your book, it seemed exceptionally toxic, and it came not only down to access to the candidate, it came to how to handle the media, trying to find out who was responsible for leaks coming out, and also simply where the campaign was headed and where they were going to be campaigning. So was there just too much going on behind the scenes? Is that common for a campaign, or was this particularly toxic?
It's common for a campaign that's struggling with its message, that's struggling a little bit with its purpose, to have internal discord, and frankly, discord is fine as long as the grievances are aired and thoughtfully discussed, and you come to an agreement on a way forward. But I think there was a lot of dissent in the way that the campaign was managed. People who did dissent found that they were not listened to or were pushed aside, up to and including President Clinton, who complained a lot that he wasn't being allowed to try the persuasion techniques that he believes are integral to successful politics. He wanted to go out into parts of the country where Hillary Clinton was a little bit less popular, where there were voters on the fence or voters who didn't like her, and try to carry forward a message for her that he thought would be helpful. He was often told basically that he ought to stick to big cities, he ought to stick to speaking to the base, and right now he looks like he was pretty prescient about the way the campaign was failing to reach out across the divide.
Yeah, you bring up, certainly you weave in a number of conversations throughout the book that are very compelling. You know, we talk so much about the candidate after the election, and in your book, in one particular chapter called The Aftermath, you mentioned her not being accepting of defeat. There was definitely a blame game. But then you went on a little bit later in the chapter to say that she really did bear the blame. She bared the responsibility. So which is it? And when if she came to that realization, when?
Listen, right after the election, within 24 hours, the campaign had settled on a communication strategy that was very much focused on external factors. Russia, the FBI, the media. And what that meant is that they didn't have to spend a lot of time looking at themselves or pointing to their own flaws. And for a Democratic Party that's trying to move forward and being competitive, I think there are a lot of lessons to learn from this campaign, and a lot of lessons to learn from some of the things they did right as well as some of the things they did wrong. But as long as they are blaming external factors, they're not really doing the analysis that's going to help them move forward, because those external factors will not be the same. And some of them were very unique to Hillary Clinton. Certainly the email server issue, they believe the media overcovered it. You had an FBI investigation into a sitting candidate. It was a running candidate. You had a situation with that email server that is entirely self-inflicted by Hillary Clinton, and whether the media magnified that or not, it was certainly a factor for the entirety of the election, and in fact, even before she ran. So it's not just the way that I think about this. Some of the sources that my co-author Amy Parnes and I talked to said they felt that Hillary Clinton was not being very reflective about this.
Right, and here's a woman who's been in the public eye even before Arkansas, so it's been a big, long journey for her. Jonathan, thank you so much, of course, for our viewers. Shattered is available to them. It's an inside look and some exclusive conversations. It's fascinating. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. We appreciate it.